going on, fam? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for joining me today. My name is Noah Cavanaugh and I'm a professional soccer player. Today I've got another boot review for you guys. It's one that I've been super keen to try for a long time. It is the X Ghosted Plus, the Adidas X Ghosted Plus. This one is in probably one of the sexiest colorways I have ever seen on a boot. I'm going to be very honest with you. It's an all black X Ghosted Plus, and it's got this crazy sole plate on it that's got multicolored depending on what type of light you have on it. So I'm very excited for that. Without further ado, let's hop into the video. Alright guys, so it comes in such a cool looking box. It's got this X on there, or this way I guess, depending on what way you like to look at it. I got my usual size 9 US. I know in a previous video when I reviewed the first generation of the X Ghosted in the all ground version, in the 0.1, it was a 9.5. To be honest, it was a little too big, so I got the 9. So just to see kind of how it felt. It's got the size and stuff there, and then it's got the X and nothing there, and Adidas logo here. This is another one of those laceless boots that slides out faster than 299, 792, 458 meters per second. Not actually sure what that means. I'll have to look it up. Anyway, you pull it up, and the boots are in the string bag. How anticlimactic. That's sort of fun. Okay, and you're supposed to keep these in, I think. So I'll pull the string bag out. There it is. Nothing else in the box. Pretty straightforward. Get this out of the way for you guys. String bag is the normal Adidas laceless ones, similar to both the Predator and the Adidas Cobra review that I did. And I will take, oh my goodness gracious. There's that sole plate. Holy cow. Okay. So I'm going to throw these right here, get this bag out of the way, and hop into this review. Oh my goodness gracious, these are gorgeous. These look like spaceships for your feet. This is really cool that Adidas put this actual shoe, like fake shoe person in here. A shoehorn? I don't know what it's called. Anyway. Wow. Okay, so this one is made out of mirage skin, which is a little bit different than the material used on the 0.1. It's also got the carbon fiber sole plate, and as you can see, what a stunning pair of football boots. I am absolutely convinced this is probably one of the prettiest pairs of boots I've ever seen in my life. Up close in person, it's got blue and purple, red, yellow. It's like Roy G. Biv, basically. On the sole plate, depending on where the light is. So if you're going to buy a pair of boots just to throw up on the wall, yep, these ones. It is laceless. It is totally seamless. There's a little bit of grip texturing in it, and then it's got this weave technology, which basically allows it to have a lot of lateral stability, which I think is really good. And as you can see, hopefully you can see that it goes up a little bit, so it feels like a track spike. Most of the studs are chevron. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chevron, 7 chevron studs, and 4 of just the bladed studs. So what a fantastic looking pair of football boots. That is such a cool sole plate. I genuinely think this is one of the best looking football boots, and I know I've said that 100 times already, but these are really cool. So I'm going to take this thing out to show you guys some of the inside, and I mean, again, super lightweight. I mean, it literally is like a track spike. And you can tell that they've tried to save weight basically wherever they can. They are pretty see-through. If there was a white pair, like the original X Ghosted Pluses, though, in the same colorway that I reviewed the first one, they're very, very, like, yeah, it's plasticky, but if you want like the most raw sensation on feet, these would be the ones I would go for. They've saved weight in almost every single place. Like, I don't know if you probably can't see this, but on the back, in the B-roll, I'll show you guys a little bit, but on the back in between those two pads that go on the side of your Achilles, they've actually taken out some of the material that might add like, you know, 0.001 of an ounce. And it just shows the extent to which they went with this shoe. And that carbon fiber sole plate is so springy, like absolutely destroys anything in its category. I don't even think the Vapor comes close to this. Even the new Vapor, which I've tried on in the store before, just when I was in Coffs Harbour in Australia. The insole is really good. It doesn't really have any grip. It's kind of suede, doesn't have any grip elements, but it's got these ridges in it, so I imagine that stability is actually pretty good regardless of whether it's got like grippy material on it. And yeah, so I mean, you can see like I'm barely putting pressure on that and it's already going down. Like this is, I imagine this is like a super comfortable fit. It's got this like vacuum seal effect supposedly. So when you put your foot in, it like kind of hugs it tight and then it's really difficult to get off. These pads on the heel counter, which as I said before, go in between, like kind of on the side of your Achilles to make it feel really snug and to lock your foot in place, are actually a really interesting material and definitely feel like they have grip on them. Which is pretty cool. So I'll show you guys that hopefully in some of the B-roll, which you'll see over the course of the video. But yeah, X Ghosted, these, the reason I wanted to wait to get the black ones is because I genuinely figure that if I want to wear a speed boot, this would probably be the one that I'd wear. The Puma Ultra was fantastic, and I think it is probably the best value for money speed boot and just best objective, or not objective, but like best speed boot on the market. I just didn't really like how it fit. And after a while it got really annoying because it was not as stable as I wanted it to be. So if this one has lateral stability and it's laceless and it's got debatably the best speed boot tech in the game outside of maybe Nike, who's also now moved to a synthetic upper, I think this would be a contender for a boot that I would consider wearing if I was in the mood for a speed boot on a certain day. So that's sort of my initial thoughts on these guys. I am stoked. I know several of you have messaged me on Instagram and have commented below to review these, and I'm so glad that I got these in because I do genuinely think these are a spectacular looking pair of football boots. And if those 0.1s that I reviewed in the all ground variation were any indication of how good these boots are, this is like a step and a half above that. First of all, because it's firm ground. Second of all, because it's got the carbon fiber sole plate, which unfortunately the all ground variation doesn't for some reason. But I am so excited to see these in action and really excited to try these on. So without further ado, guys, I can't wait any longer, and I know you guys can't either. Let's hop into the on-feet portion of the video where I'll show you guys how they fit and feel, what the sizing is like, how wide they are, and of course whether or not I am going to decide to wear these when I get done with all my surgery stuff. All right, guys, on to the on-feet portion of the video where I try on this beautiful X Ghosted Plus. They're so light, they're so easy to just throw around, and they've got this vacuum seal, which I'm really excited to kind of try on firsthand. They've got just the sickest sole plate, I think, on the market right now. It's a super high-tech piece of football boot, and I'm super excited to try these on. Let's get after it right away. I'll lean back a little bit. There you go, so you can see. So again, with laceless boots, it's a little difficult, but pop my foot in there. Ooh, wow. Very interesting feel. It's laceless and it feels like a track spike. That's pretty much where I'm at with these right now. Get that other one on. Goodness, this is tough. It's like a bloody workout trying to get these boots on. Okay. Try it this way again. Oh. There we go. All right, so pulling the tongue up a little bit as best I can. You definitely feel how thin this upper is. I mean, it is totally seamless. On feet, they're pretty sweet, I gotta say. They are really nice to look at, and you can tell right away how aggressive that sole plate is. I'll show you up front. There you go. So these are pretty good. They are definitely a little thinner fitting. They've got a little, because it's laceless and there's no way to pull this tight, they've got a pretty open space right there, which I don't know if I'm too keen on, but they do fit really well, and they are perhaps the most raw sensation I've felt in a boot in a really long time. They blow the vapors out of the water, I gotta admit. Like, these are probably the thinnest, lightest, like track spike, fastest feeling boots I think I've had on my feet in a really long time. As far as the comparison between these and the Ghosted .1s with the laces, I think I would actually pick the Ghosted .1s with the laces, just because it gives me the ability to kind of pull this tight, and it's a little bit of a softer upper in my opinion. This one's definitely a little more stiff, a little more plasticky feeling, but if you really like the laceless feel and you have thinner feet, I think these would be such a good option for you if you're willing to drop $275 or $280 on these. I think that'd be a pretty great option, because the heel and the lockdown in the heel is really good. It's really springy. The sole plate is the best on the market in my opinion, bar none. Like, there are no aggressive sole plates that come even close to this. It's got pretty good lateral stability. It's a little bit, there's a little bit of rollover, but that's pretty natural as you have laceless boots. But if you had a pair of grip socks in these, like I do, it would be pretty easy, especially if they were gripped on the outside of the socks. So that's sort of my first impressions. I think these are a really great pair of football boots. I do think that I would suggest, if you've got as wide as a foot as I do, I would say definitely go with a different pair of boots, or you're going to suffer a little bit through the break-in period, especially with these. I think they are going to be sort of aimed at a little bit of a thinner foot, but a little bit wider than a vapor. So kind of that's up for you guys to decide. I think, again, it's all personal preference. Try these on, I think, before you buy them. But I would really recommend these if you're looking for that absolutely raw, laceless sensation. These are absolutely the best you're gonna get. And I think if you do have sort of a thinner foot and you do have a foot shape that's kind of more geared towards the really seamless sensation boots, I think this is absolutely the best laceless boot that you're going to find on the market. For those of you who are wider footed players and who don't really care about the super streamlined barefoot, I'd say go with something like a Predator or a Copa Plus, one of the laceless versions of those if you're really keen on the laceless boot. But as far as a feat of technology, these are absolutely, I would rank these in the top 3 most technologically advanced boots ever to be made. These are really fantastic, and I would give these an 8.5 out of 10. I just wouldn't wear them. So fantastic, would recommend 100% if this is the type of boot you're going for. The only difference that I would say between this and the .1 is it's gonna feel a little bit softer on the .1 in my opinion, and then you're gonna have the laces. So do with that what you will, obviously, but these are a fabulous pair of boots. Absolutely the sexiest looking sole plate I've ever seen in my life, probably, outside of those CTR 360s that I have, but these are a great pair of boots. So if you guys want to see more boot reviews like this one, make sure you like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. As always, be awesome, guys, take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.